features with Livingston and Tangela too, and our host Vincent Van Dahl, and he brings it to ya. Creature features and all creatures and all features, and the creature gonna get you tonight. You better not turn out your bedroom light. He'll grab your head and give it such a bite. You may even die, just from a fright. You ain't nothing gonna be, baby. You ain't nothing gonna be alright. Cause the creature gonna get you, baby. Don't get you tonight.
Good evening and welcome to Creature Features. I'm your host, Vincent. To this side would be my most esteemed butler, the impeccably tasteful Mr. Livingston. And over on this end of the spectrum is my lovely housemate, Tangela, whose grace, kindness, and charm are second only to her proficiency to formulate Simtex explosive material using only common household cleaning products. And we have a simply marvelous program in store just for you. Let us start by discussing our film. Tonight we shall present the very first Three Stooges movie ever to be shown on Creature Features. And that cinematic epic will be Have Rocket Will Travel from 1959. While I'm not entirely familiar with this picture, having not yet screened it, I do know that it was nominated for several Academy Awards and 2 Golden Globes in that particular year.
Hardly. This film features Curly Joe, who was a good deal worse than Shemp.
Ooh, maybe, but at least he was far more suited for the role than that ghastly bloke Joe Besser.
If I told you once, I told you a dozen times, don't touch me cleaning supplies. Mr. Livingston, may I have a word with you about the matter?
I hardly find it necessary, Mrs. O'Connor. You seem to have resolved the problem quite adequately.
She seems to have settled in rather nicely to this job.
Indeed.
And joining us to watch this fabulous trio of slapstick astronauts will be our old friend, Bob Johnson. He's our resident Godzilla and kaiju expert, and he'll give us some insight about tonight's film. He'll also tell us about his upcoming Godzilla Fest in August, which is an event you most definitely will not want to miss. So don't go away, for this to be another night of Three Stooges delight, right here on Creature Features. Stay tuned. Bob Johnson, Godzilla expert. Did you know that right this moment on Channel 40, they are showing King Kong versus Godzilla?
Well, what are we doing here?
Now, the question is, what are they doing here? Because we're going to serve them this slop of a Three Stooges film, and they could be watching this big, that's a big deal, this King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah, it was a big one.
That was like one of the most famous Godzilla films, was it not? Here
I
in
think
the
it was
US?
one of the biggest money makers until the mega movies they're making today. But
No, I recall being a young lad, and then when this was on BBC Two, we would all the lads would stop what they're doing and go watch Godzilla versus King Kong.
yeah, I remember it was on like Channel 10 at one point, and I didn't really get Channel 10.
Right. So
I got the audio and a lot of snow,
Oh wow.
and you could like look and see shadows moving
Right.
around. I watched the whole movie that way.
But you'd seen it before, right?
Yeah, I knew
So
what was
you
going
knew
on.
what was
but,
happening.
yeah.
Right. Clever. Anyways, welcome to the show. It is a Saturday night, and that means we've got a guest, and we've got a wonderful movie, and our wonderful guest is Bob Johnson. You know, I always describe you as a Godzilla expert, but that's probably not quite a proper description, is it not?
Well, I mean, I put on the Godzilla shows in
Right.
the San Francisco Bay Area.
In an actual theater, you
Yeah, on the big screen.
yes, right,
And no, I've been a Godzilla fan, God, since very early.
right.
And I'm very old now, so it's a lot of years.
So it's safe to call you a Godzilla expert, but you know the
Sure.
other monsters as well.
Oh, yeah,
Right, right. So, kaiju expert or
sure.
Japanese
Japanese monster
expert? Right.
fanatic.
And you've actually met the bloke who was in
Mm-hmm.
the costume, right?
There were a few blokes in the costume,
And you've met
but
more than
yes.
one.
Oh, yeah. In fact, we have a show coming up in August, and one of them will be our guest.
How wonderful. So,
So-
you know, a question you might want to ask is, how do they make the Godzilla sound inside that costume?
Well, it's not really in the costume. It's, done AR lately or after.
No, I watched the film, and it's a Godzilla opens his mouth, and the
Right.
sound comes out.
Yeah, and they put it in there.
Right?
But it was originally Akira Ifukube who did the music, had a canvas glove
a canvas
and
glove.
pulled it down a bass string. and
That's
it
how
made
he
that
did it?
sound. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And so that was like the original. And then later films, they kind of sped it up a little bit, made it higher.
I always thought it was like a lion sound, like reversed or something like that.
Some monsters, I mean, you can kind of tell what the sounds are, and others you can't. But sometimes, they'll take a few different roars or sounds and mix them together. Or,
So we recently showed Gorgo.
yeah.
Do you know how they made his sound? Or did they steal Godzilla's?
No, Gorgo's roar was pretty generic.
Oh, all right.
So, yeah, I don't think they did anything special for it.
Right, right.
But he'll be crashing our show in August, so we are going to show Gorgo.
As it should be seen.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to do Have Rocket Will Travel. I have not seen this film. Is there any giant monsters in this one?
There's a giant fire-breathing spider towards the end.
Perfect.
But,
no, well, creature features. We got to show.
Yeah.
We got to feature a
No,
creature
that's
down
okay.
there.
It's kind of Three Stooges light.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
All right.
I think there's like one eye poke in the movie.
Is
There's a
that
lot of
all?
slaps, but just one eye poke.
No,
so
we've had enough around this.
I think they
house.
toned it down a little bit for the film.
All right, well, let's go ahead and start this film. When we come back, we're going to talk some more about your Monster Fest. But let's go to Have Rocket Will Travel 1959, and we will see you at the break.
The race for space has just begun, the race to reach the moon and sun. And we've got half the battle won. Have rocket, oh, we'll travel.
Whoop, 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 whoop. It's Creature Feature Three Stooges night.
Not a lot of whoop whoops in the movie, though.
You know,
I think
I-
there's one part, I think, where they take Curly's sound
Oh,
and dub it into...
no, that's illegal.
You don't really see Joe Dorita's face. You see like the back of his head, and he's doing something, and they kind of dub it in there, kind of threw it in.
My goodness. No, that's criminal.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, we were talking over the film about the different Third Stooge.
Stooges, yeah.
I mean, so there was Curly. First, Shemp.
Shemp was with Moe and Larry in vaudeville,
Right.
with Ted Healy. It was
Right.
like Ted Healy and his Stooges.
Right. And then it became Curly,
And Curly came in when they started doing the shorts.
and Shemp left.
yeah.
Right.
But then Curly had a stroke,
Right.
and he had to stop, and that's when they brought Shemp back.
Right. And then Shemp eventually
Well, Shemp
left.
was making his own movies, too. He was in a lot of movies. I can't name any of them right now, but yeah, he was in quite a few movies, so he kind of left on his own.
Right.
And then they brought in Joe Besser.
Joe Besser. And I understand he was not the most welcomed Third Stooge because
Yes.
he had a contract, I hear, that he could not be hit.
Then why be a stooge?
Right. No, you cannot be a stooge and not be hit, especially the third stooge,
Yeah.
who, is the one that gets hit the most. So, and then, okay, so that was Besser. He's not in this film.
No, this is Joe Dorita.
Joe Dorita.
Who, when Besser was there, they just called him Joe.
Oh.
He wasn't like Curly. They called him Joe.
Right.
But then when Joe Dorita came in, they called him Curly Joe. In fact, they referred to him as Curly Joe throughout this movie.
So as not to confuse us.
Probably, yeah.
It's confusing me. So was he the last one, or was there another?
He was
after?
the last one. He made this and a couple other movies, and they did like record albums and like children's songs and stuff.
Right.
And he was on those. And I think he was on the Three Stooges cartoon.
His voice.
His voice, yeah.
Right. So I wonder if he was the longest running Stooge number 3.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Could
Because that's
be.
1959, right?
Right.
Started with this film until what, 1970 for the cartoon? 69?
Probably around that, yeah.
I don't think any of the others were in for 10 years.
I don't know. Curly was
We'll
in
have
there
to
for
reach.
quite a
No,
while.
one of our
We'll see.
viewers, what they will do is they will look on Google. Have you tried Google?
Yeah,
You can
somebody
find-
grab me an iPad.
Right. No, you can find the information, and then somebody will post in the comments on YouTube, and then they'll also send us like a large envelope with the answer, like written in script.
So like a
It'll have
5-page letter
happens
explaining
to
the
be
whole
done.
thing.
What do you say we get back to this film?
Sure.
Talking about Stooges, let's look at some more Stooges. We're going to do some mail next, but when we come back, I want to talk to you about the costumes that
Okay.
were used in the Godzilla films.
Sure.
All right, off we go. Have rocket will travel. Not me. I'm staying here and just watching it, but we hope you'll stick with us too. See you soon.
The race for space has just begun, the race to reach the moon and sun. And we've got half the battle won, half rocket, all will travel.
This is Livingston, and you're watching Creature Features. Not now. Stay tuned. This portion of Creature Features is brought to you by CreatureFeatureStore.com, the official merchandiser of Creature Feature accessories.
My goodness, Livingston,
Yes.
the United States military service is recruiting for soldiers. I think they'd have quite a gem there with Tangela if we volunteered her, right?
Ordnance.
She could work on explosives and do things and go fight other people's wars. Hey, you should fill this out and join a military unit. Anyways, welcome back to the show. We will be back soon with Mr. Bob Johnson. But first, we've got some mail to do because you send us mail, and if we don't read it, then we might as well all join the military, right?
No.
Well, I would, with Tangela, because she would protect me on the battlefield. All right, what do you got, Mr.
I have
Livingston?
an email from Faye Chavez.
Faye Chavez. That's a rather nice name. All right, Faye says she's from Ponca City, Oklahoma. Ponca City.
Never heard
It's
of
like
it.
Tonka, but Ponca. All right, let's see. Love the show. I always love shows like these. Way back when I was a kid, there was Seymour, and then Seymour went off, and Elvira came on, and you guys are the next best thing to all those. Listen to that. She says we're the next best thing to Elvira. I think that's true.
Is that a compliment?
Well, it is because she's not working anymore, really.
Oh.
I don't think she's doing a show anymore. I'm so glad I discovered you. I just discovered you the night before last. I saw a movie that I really loved, Love at First Bite, and discovered you guys. I'm like, awesome. I'm so happy and glad that you guys are here. I will continue to enjoy the show and hopefully try to buy some of your merch. So, thank you very much. I love all the characters there. Extremely cool. You all take care, and I will keep watching and keep in touch. From Ponca City, Oklahoma, Faye Chavez. Well, thank you so much for the kind words, Faye. And Seymour. I don't know if we're better than Seymour.
I don't know who Seymour is.
No, there's no joke. It goes Under the Grandstand by Seymour Butts.
You never cease to amaze me.
Another letter, please, sir.
Indeed. This is from Catherine Maya.
Catherine Maya. I wonder if I could call her Katie. Or Kathy.
You have to ask
It's such
her.
a versatile name. All right, she goes, just saying hiya. Hiya, I'm Kate. I just recently started watching you guys on YouTube. I really enjoy it a lot. Miss Changela, I do believe you are so beautiful. And she put hearts and smiley faces. Mr. Livingston, I rather enjoy your sense of humor. I think you're very important to the show because your facial features make you... Mrs. O'Connor, we're trying to tape our program.
You're going to be on television with this dusty house. No, I can't have people seeing this. This is how I clean it. No, we have to clean it.
The entire house is dusty.
Yes, and that's why you hired me, isn't it? Oh, snakes alive, I'm sorry!
Oh, dear.
I think we might have to get rid of one of those two. I don't know which one.
I have an idea.
I know your answer. All right, let's see. Vincent, I rather like the fact that you're so inquisitive and very brilliant. Maybe not in the hiring department, but I don't know. I grew up with most of these movies. I realized that I had watched them as a small young girl. I appreciate you and thank you for the laughs. I hope you have a wonderful day and year. Keep up the great work, and I look forward to seeing what's next. Love you all. I hope you did not murder that poor woman. You know, she means well. She's just still getting the hang of things. You got to be nice, you know. She might, end up being on your side at some point. We're going to lose another maid, are we not?
Probably.
Well, hopefully it'll be later rather than sooner. Anyways, thank you so much, Catherine, and I hope you don't mind me calling you Katie Poo. That's a good name, right? Katie Poo?
It's rather intimate.
No, it's not. It's like when you add poo to the end of something, it makes it like childlike.
Miss
Like
Lisa
Tangela Poo. If I called it Tangela Poo or Livingston Poo, that would
I
be
would
bad.
take offense.
No, I would as well. All right, how about some mail?
Lisa Marie.
Lisa Marie. Do you
Queensland.
know how many Lisa Maries there are in the world? There's got to be more to her name. Oh, it's Miss Lisa Marie. You didn't tell me that. This is rather heavy. All right, let me find the notes, and then I'm going to let the young one look at what this is. All right, open it up. It might keep her out of trouble, will it not? All right, Lisa
her into
Marie,
more trouble.
who has some very nice handwriting, goes, she's in the Gold Coast, Queensland,
Queensland.
Australia. You didn't tell me that.
I did.
All right, she goes, Dear Creature Feature, my name is Lisa Marie, and I would like to thank you for reading my letter. So she's written to us before. Oh, and she sent us more
So the
gifts.
letter
Okay,
you're
hold
reading
on.
now, I
Let me
imagine.
read more of this. I'm sending some homemade jewelry for her as a gift from me and my son John. I would like an autographed photo. Well, I think we could set you up with one of those after sending us all this. Have you seen these horror movies? Day of the Dead, yes, and we might be showing that one soon, but you put 2005. We're not going to be showing the 2005 version because we cannot afford the 2005 version.
It's rather
correct?
expensive.
Oh, look at that. That's rather... Oh, look at this. Oh, bloody hell. I'll wear this one.
This looks like something you would wear.
No, it does look like something of mine. All right, make sure she does not put it all in her pocket. We have to share. You have to share the booty with me, right? The loot.
The loot, yes.
Well, no, the booty is what the pirates would call it, right? Pirates' booty?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, this man, for being as old-fashioned as he is, he seems a little backwards sometimes. All right, Night of the Living Dead, 2008. No, we can't share that one. Return of the Living Dead, and 2-3 Ghost Ship. All right, so if the movie has a 2 in the first digit of the year, you can be slightly sure that we cannot show it. But if it's got 1906, we can definitely show it, right?
I don't think they made movies in 1906.
Oh, well, they tried. Nightmare on Elm Street, 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 5. My goodness. You made us some nice jewelry, but these are some huge requests. We'll send you the autograph photo, and hopefully that'll be enough. Thanks for writing, love. That it?
That's it.
That is it for mail. If you'd like to send us mail of your own, visit hellocreaturefeatures.com. Wonderful place place to go because you could learn how to send us an email or how to send us regular postal mail or how to send us a package or how to send us a 2023 Ferrari in a crate, right? That information is on the website.
Container.
Maybe, maybe not. Anyways, we're going to get back to Have Rocket Will Travel, and when we come back from the break, we'll have Bob Johnson with us. See you soon.
The race for space has just begun, the race to reach the moon and sun. And we've got half the battle won, half rocket, all will travel.
Hello, this is Mr. Livingston. It would appear that I have been tasked yet again to deliver another plea intended to separate you from your hard-earned money. This program now has its own channel and associated apps that allow you to watch the entire Creature Features library and much more. Entitled Creature Features TV, this is a system that works much like Netflix or Hulu. Besides early access to all the new Creature Features episodes, you'll also have access to many other offerings and some archival episodes of the original show with Mr. Bob Wilkins. You'll also have exclusive access to a new Creature Feature show that will be introduced soon and will not be available anywhere else. Your generous but modest monthly subscription fee will also greatly assist in the continued production of the show, so there's that as well. Miss Tangela has asked me to inform you that if you subscribe to Creature Features TV, she will be sure to create more dancing videos just for you. I think not. So please visit www.creaturefeaturestv.com to learn more. Thank you for your time.
You know, Bob Johnson, Godzilla expert, I could never go to the moon because the helmet would not fit on my head.
Oh, and the lack of gravity, too. It's like,
Oh, you think that would help?
maybe.
I wouldn't have to fix my hair all the time. So, tell me something about this film.
Well, I think they were wearing the spacesuits now. Spacesuits were actually used in an episode of Twilight Zone.
The spacesuits the
Yeah,
Stooges are
called
wearing.
Elegy, yeah.
All these blokes were
Yeah.
short, were they not?
They were pretty short, yeah.
Right. I mean, like tiny almost.
Yeah, they might have been cuffed, I don't know.
Oh, right. You know, they hem. The studios have a full
Stuffed in a boot
wardrobe
or something, yeah.
department and seamstresses.
And I'm sure Rod
and
Serling, I doubt if he had the budget to make spacesuits, so they could have come from a movie before that, and it's just escaping me.
So,
but,
right. Now, you know, they remind me a bit of the ones from Destination Moon.
Yeah, it could be.
The classic 50s. I don't know. Anyways,
So,
speaking of outfits, let's talk about Godzilla. So, until you told me 2000-something,
2004?
2004, Godzilla was always a bloke in a suit,
Yeah.
right? And, you know, there's a lot of animation going on. The mouth opens, the eyes move. Sometimes the nostrils would, like,
Well,
open and close.
the crazy thing about those suits, even like Godzilla, is, you know, yes, the eye, if the eyes moved, some of them did, some didn't. Mouth opens and closes. That's all done off stage with like pneumatics.
Oh,
But the tail doesn't just drag along the ground. They have people like up in the rafters with wires.
oh, is that
moving
how
the
they
tail.
did it?
Yeah.
No, because he would use his tail to, like,
Yeah.
knock down buildings.
So if you look at something like King Ghidorah,
What's that?
the three-headed monster,
Right.
3 heads, 2 tails,
Right.
2 wings.
It's like a dragon with 3 heads.
It had like a dozen people up there in the rafters with wires.
Oh, my goodness. That's right, because all the
Trying to-
heads were moving independently. Right.
Some kind of knocking
But there
into
was
each
still
other,
a bloke
but-
in the costume, right?
Yeah, but he was basically the legs, and if you
Right.
notice, there's kind of like a large chest because he had his arms in like this.
That's why.
So, but everything else was wire work.
Right. It's like a big marionette.
Yeah.
How fun. And then in 2004, they switched to CGI.
No, 2004 was still
Still?
suits.
So when did they switch to CGI?
Well, that was pretty much when they started making the films over here. Godzilla 2014, King of the Monsters.
So Japan does not make them anymore.
Well, they made Shin Godzilla in 2016, and that was mostly CGI.
Right.
And then they're working on one now, which they say will be out by the end of the year. We'll see. They're working on it now.
And that will be full CGI.
Yeah. I think the man in the suit days are pretty much over.
You know, and I think the big problem with the man in the suit is not so much the suit and the man.
Mm-hmm.
You have to build all of those tiny cityscape things.
Well, that's a
and
whole art over
Right.
there. I mean, just to make those things. And, people think, oh, it's just a bunch of cardboard houses. But no, they're buildings. They've got floors inside. And
Right, and
there's
things
some
fall
scenes
out.
where they put
and-
furniture and things in there.
Right,
And then,
right.
when they, basically crush the building, then you see all the floors and all the innards come out.
What I'd like
But
to know is where they find those tiny little people running the streets that get crushed by those walls.
they're all rented.
Rented.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
I was worried that they were damaged, so that tells me that they get returned proper. All right.
But we did have a couple of our Godzilla fests. We had T.J. Storm as a guest.
Who's that?
He was the CG actor for the Legendary movies.
Oh, this
He
is
was
when
the
they
guy
put
with
the
like
dots.
the green suit with
Yes.
the ping pong balls.
Yes.
And he does all the
Right.
movements. I think
Motion tracking. Or
they
something.
put dots all over his face, so when he's making expressions, those
It comes
expressions are
through.
reflected in Godzilla.
Like Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to signal we got to return to the film, but when we come back, I want to talk to you about this podcast you do.
Okay.
All right?
Sure.
All right. So off we go. Have Rocket Will Travel 1959. Don't go away because I don't. You could go away if you want. I don't. It's not the best film, but Tenja will be here later. That's a good reason to stay. See you soon.
The race for space has just begun. The race to reach the moon and sun. And we've got half the battle won. Have rocket on. We'll travel.
Hey, I'm watching your show. Put me on.
Hello, this is Livingston. Apparently, one of my newly acquired domestic duties is to request help for our show financially by asking you to visit our Patreon page. Your generosity will help keep Creature Features on the air, which I'm not entirely sure is a good thing. However, with only a few dollars a month from you, your kindness will allow us to continue creating new programming each week, which apparently some of you curiously enjoy. And should you have the desire to give even more, you might even receive a gift from Miss Tangella. I think not. Please visit the website below to learn more. Thank you.
Shouldn't they be putting ashes in this instead of change?
You would think.
I have an urge for a proper urn. Welcome back to the show. We are watching Have Rocket Will Travel with the wonderful Bob Johnson, who knows everything about Godzilla and then some. Have Rocket Will Travel. How did they come up with a title like this? It makes no sense to me.
They probably went back to the old Western, Have Gun Will Travel,
There was a show called Have Gun Will Travel.
with Richard Boone.
Richard Boone, is he the crooner?
No. Richard Boone was an actor. He was in a TV movie back in the 70s
Right.
called The Last Dinosaur with Joan Van Ark, I believe.
That sounds like something we should
Yeah.
show.
Oh, you look into it.
The Last Dinosaur,
Subaru
Richard
Productions
Boone.
that made Ultraman
Right,
and Hanna-Barbera
right.
combined to make a couple TV movies, 3 actually, but one was The Last Dinosaur, one was The Bermuda Depths, which at the very end has a big turtle that comes out of the ocean and eats the helicopter that Burl Ives is in.
Oh, this is something that's perfect for our program.
And then the third was The Ivory Ape, which is really hard to find.
All right.
And,
Ivory Ape.
The Ivory Ape.
I bet Tom can find it. Anyways, you do a thing called Planet 8 Podcast.
Yes.
Now, do you have to go all the way to Planet 8 to do your podcast, or you just...
Well, we usually record it on Planet 8, but
all right.
There's myself, Larry Kakos, and
Right.
Karen Walker.
Right.
And we do this podcast, which we just recorded our 121st episode.
What's the URL to find it?
Well, you can go to planet8podcast.com.
Planet8podcast.com, and you'll find it.
Or you can go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you can find podcasts, and just search
put
for
Planet 8.
Planet 8 Podcast.
Right, nice.
We also, a couple episodes ago, started full video episodes.
So
Those are
prior,
on
it was just
YouTube.
audio.
Yeah.
Right.
We would have YouTube episodes, but we'd put a graphic over it. And
Of course. Right.
So now we're actually on there talking and moving. And
Oh, how fun.
doing things,
It's
so-
nice to see the face in front of the voice, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
Right. What's that for me?
Depends on the voice.
I
or
should be
depends on
doing
the
a
face.
pure audio program.
Yeah.
Yeah. People get scared of my face. Sometimes they say, I came to watch a film on your show, and I saw this bloke's face, and they're like, WTF, and I don't even know what that means, but I'm sure it's not good. So what kind of things do you discuss on Planet 8 Podcast?
God, we do just about anything we can think of. We've done everything from comics to movies to TV shows, usually in the sci-fi monster realm, although we did do a James Bond movie episode.
James Bond goes sci-fi sometimes. What was that, Moonraker?
Moonraker, yeah.
Right?
That's true.
Yeah, and they're always like fighting like super villains that have all this technology.
Yeah.
so-
Richard Keel,
Right.
Jaws.
Right.
But yeah, no, recently we did one on William Shatner. We did one on all 4 Invasion of the Body Snatcher movies.
Oh, wow.
And we thought, well, let's do it on all 3 of the movies. And then we found, oh no, there was 4.
Well, I think you have to do one on Have Rocket Will Travel, right?
Possibly.
Why not?
Or just do a Stooges episode.
That's right. Do a full Stooges.
Yeah,
All
'cause
right, well, let's say
also
we
were
get
in
back to
order.
this film.
Yeah.
And then when we come back, we're going to discuss your show coming up,
Okay.
Godzilla Fest, all that. All right, off we go. Have Rocket Will Travel. Don't go away, because if you do, it would be a terrible thing. It would make me quite sad. Bye.
The race for space has just begun. The race to reach the moon and sun. And we've got half the battle won. Have rocket will travel.
This is Livingston, and you're watching Creature Features. Stay tuned.
You're supposed to be at this event right now.
I was earlier.
Well-
Broke away and came over here.
No, it's nice that you can fly over here, like Ultraman who flies.
That's right.
And so the Ultra Fest, it's going on this weekend, and there's one more
And-
day left.
It's at the 4-Star Theater.
The Full Star Theater, where's that?
It's in San Francisco on Clement Street.
Oh, nice.
Recently reopened and remodeled, so it's really cool.
We're
It
going
used
to
to
put
be
a big one here where you can actually see. But an Ultra Fest,
Yeah, we did an Ultraman show back in 2005 at the Castro Theater.
right?
We haven't done one since. We've been doing all these Godzilla fests.
Right.
And then when they reopened the 4-Star, it's kind of on Clement, close to a Chinese neighborhood. So the owner was like, let's do Ultraman. Ultraman would be huge there.
Right.
I'm like, all right, well, we'll try it. Took me close to a year to negotiate to do it.
Oh my goodness.
With Tsuburaya Productions in Japan. We wanted to do this like back in the fall, but it just kept getting pushed out. And now we've got 2 shows like back to back. And but this one, a lot of fun, a lot of Ultraman movies, and we have Dory Krause, who was Jack Shindo in Ultraman Towards the Future.
Nice.
He was like the one who would turn into Ultraman.
Right.
Last night, we showed a compilation of Ultraman episodes from the '66 show that were all remastered in 4K.
Oh, nice.
And the '60s colors and all that just pop right off the screen.
The film stock they used was incredible. I think they used Fujifilm.
So there you go.
Right. And then you got this other one coming up.
Yeah, this one, I mean, you can
Godzilla
still catch Ultrafest tomorrow if you run out to the 4-star, but Godzilla Fest is in August.
Godzilla Fest in August. Got to go. Put a big one up.
There you go.
Big, pop it up.
And our guest for that one is one of the Godzilla suit actors, Tsutomu Kitagawa, who was
How old is
Godzilla
he
in the
now?
2000s. So he's
He was. He's not too
fairly
old.
young.
Right.
Yeah, very energetic, great guest.
Nice.
We had him in 2004 when we did our first Godzilla Fest.
This looks like so much fun. And this is August 18th to the 20th at the Balboa,
At the Balboa
Theater in
Theater,
San
yeah.
Francisco.
And special guest on that one, like I say, is Tsutomu Kitagawa. And we're also having a special showing of Gorgo on Saturday night. And
Gorgo on the big screen.
Titanic Productions made a really cool Gorgo figure, and they're giving us a couple of those to give away
As like door prizes.
as prizes at the
Nice.
screening. Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. Good. All right, August 18th to 20th, or tomorrow, go check out the last day of Ultrafest.
Yep.
Right? Good. All right.
Be a lot of fun. I got
What
to
do you
run
s-
back there after we're done.
What do you say we wrap up this film so you can do that?
You got it.
All right, let's go to the end of Have Rocket Will Travel. My usual warning, when the credits roll, don't go away. The show's not over. Tangela will be here. And if you're not, then she's going to be sad. I've seen her cry before.
Oh, really?
It was because she almost cut her own leg off, but it's still a tear, one solitary tear. All right, off we go. End of Have Rocket Will Travel. See you on the other side of the credits.
The race for space has just begun. The race to reach the moon and sun. And we've got half the battle won. Have rocket, oh, we'll travel. The race for space has just begun. The race to reach the moon and sun. And we've got half the battle won. Have rocket, oh, we'll travel.
Pies in the face for Mo. You know, I think we should end every episode of our show with a pie in your face. Not my face. No, a pie belongs on my face, but if it went in your face, that would be funny. Yeah. She's good with slapstick, but only when she's slapping somebody else's stick,
That's right.
not her own. Anyways, that's that for Have Rocket Will Travel. Not a bad film, not a good film. It's just a film, right?
Three Stooges light.
Three Stooges light.
Yeah.
You know, if you'd like to see more Three Stooges, I turn on any channel in the afternoon, right, and you'll find Three Stooges somewhere. You know, I bet you Three Stooges is playing somewhere, everywhere, at one time or another.
There's that one channel on like Saturday night that they play like 4 hours of Stooges or something leading into stuff. But yeah,
Right. Yeah.
goes on.
It
I like
sounds-
the Stooges, but not
No,
4 or
same,
5 hours.
same.
but, yeah.
I think that would be hideous,
Yeah.
but that's just me. Anyways, so what's next for Bob Johnson?
Well, podcast continues.
Right.
Get done with Ultrafest this weekend, Godzilla Fest next month.
And then what?
Then I get to rest for a bit.
You know, I do think you need to, you put a lot of work into these things.
Mm-hmm.
No, it takes some finagling to pull off what you do.
No, definitely.
Right, right. And then a podcast with multiple people talk. I don't know if I could do it. No. These podcasts, these people are talking. I cannot even keep up with these podcasts most of the time.
Well, we do it twice a month. It comes out on the 8th and the 22nd. And we have to keep coming up with subjects.
Right,
And
but
then
watching it is the challenge that I speak of. Because, no, you've got 4 heads talking at the same time. I don't know which one to look at.
No, the hard part, though, is like if someone says, let's do one on the X-Files.
Right.
Well, there's like 9 seasons of the X-Files
Oh.
and how many episodes. And,
All right.
Yeah.
No,
Larry from the podcast just bought Dark Shadows. I'm hoping he doesn't ask us to do that.
That's an interesting
Because
show.
that was
Yeah,
like
people-
that was like every day for
Right,
how
no,
many
people
years?
ask us to
It's
share
like-
Dark Shadows. Yeah, how
It was close to 1,000 episodes of Dark Shadows.
but you know the Johnny Depp film.
well,
You should do
that
the
too,
Johnny Depp
but-
film. I love that film. It's good. His house looked like mine. All right, Bob. Well, thank you so much for coming
You're
on the program and being our guide on Have Rocket Will Travel. And
It's a blast.
hope your Godzilla and Ultraman festivals go well. And,
Everybody
next
go to
time-
bed early and come out tomorrow.
Right. No, if you're not busy tomorrow, it's Sunday. You know, maybe they got the day off. All right. Well, next time you're in town, come see us, eh?
Sounds good.
All right, and as far as you guys are concerned, thank you so much for watching our show. We know you could have been watching that Godzilla movie on Channel 40, but instead you stayed with us, stuck with her, and that makes you our dear and best friends. See you next week. So, Bob, I'm not doing anything else tonight. What do you think if I follow you and tag along for this rest of this Ultraman evening?
Maybe next time.